Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee with Kem and Hills. Mm-hmm. It is Tuesday. We still need to pull from our energy sources.
Getting that coffee into my bloodstream.
Yeah, I know. We need to get some like IVs up in here. Don't they do? They do that now. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's that was becoming a very popular thing in New York City after people would go out.
I was just watching Real Housewives of Orange County, and they went to Aspen, and they had, when they arrived, they had people come do IV bags for them.
Really?
And give them oxygen, because they were like, oh, the altitude, we need to be more hydrated. They also were clearly drinking a lot on the plane ride, so they were, preempting that hangover for the next day.
This is what's crazy to me, is like not even just for like the rich Real Housewives.
Right.
People can just have like there's
there's services, and you can do it in Vegas. Like that's that's the place that I know that it happens the most, is that you can order people to come to your room.
What a smart business idea.
Seriously.
It's brilliant. I mean, people swear by it.
And actually, when I was in Key West last year, they had, in downtown Key West, there was a place that you could go because people party hard there.
Yeah.
And liquid IV, or not liquid IV, but like IV station.
See, I'm scared of needles, so I probably will not participate in that unless I have to.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly is.
Have you done it?
I haven't done it for a No, the only reason I've ever had needles in my arm is either giving blood or giving birth.
Yeah. I thought after giving birth, I would not be scared of needles. But even like now, if I have to get my blood drawn, I'm like, I get really nervous. I just want to warn you ahead of time. Can you use the butterfly needle, the smaller one? I know it takes longer, but it just helps my brain. I mean, it's a whole thing, and I have to look away.
Oh yeah, I'm like, so I just don't need to see it going in. Once it's in, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'm good. And then once it's in, I'm like, okay, yeah, I can talk to you again. But
I have to go to like another planet. I'm like, bye-bye. I can't be here right now. I'm just going to warn you, I'm going to go very quiet. And they're always worried and try to talk to me. I'm like, shh. I'm concentrating.
Well,
anyway,
on that
note, we're gonna go way off that topic onto some other topics.
Yep.
Starting with 7 ways to avoid probate without a living trust, and this is from Forbes.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought this was interesting because we've been talking about trusts so much and everything, but there are some ways of avoiding. Okay, I need some coffee, I think. Avoiding probate without that. Of course, the article says the trust is the best way.
I think, and it seems like it is the easiest way and like most catch-all way to kind of get it done, basically.
Yes.
You do obviously have to pay for getting it set up and maintained, so there is a cost to it, and if that is something where maybe your assets it doesn't align with what your assets have.
If you're not able to, for whatever reason, there are some other options.
But these also seem like it would take more effort. So, it's that whole like DIY or pay somebody to do it right situation where it's the time or money that you pay for. You pay for it with your time or you pay for it with your money.
Right. Well, their first recommendation is IRAs and 401ks, if you have them, is a great way to avoid probate. The beneficiary of the account determines who inherits them.
And it goes straight to them.
Straight to them.
Yeah.
So no probate court. No one wants probate court.
Nobody.
That does not sound fun. Life insurance benefits and annuities are also distributed to beneficiaries. Yep. No involvement of probate court. Heyo.
Woo!
A somewhat easy one, I thought, is the joint bank account.
Yes.
Yeah, so like
and joint titles for real estate as well.
Yes. So, if a lot of the times if you're married and you have a joint bank account, it will automatically go to the person that you share the account with.
Yes.
Which you can also have a joint bank account, like say the article was talking about this, if you wanted to have it with like your child.
Right.
As
you get older or.
Yes. And you want this to be an option, like where they will get the money if something happens to you.
Yep.
That's an option as well. But then you have to remember that they have equal control of that account.
Yes.
So you have to keep that in mind. Yes.
And same with the real estate. If you have it jointly titled, you can't sell or do anything, well, you probably do things to the property, but you can't sell the property without the consent of the other person on the title.
Right. So that is something to keep in mind. A transfer on death provision or TOD.
TOD.
The abbreviation form of that. But I will just say it because this is new to me, is another way to avoid probate, also known as the POD, payable on death. Kind of self-explanatory. But some states allow the TOD or the PODs in real estate deeds as well. So that's another option.
Yes. And this is different from having a joint account with somebody or joint title deed, is because the person who is on it for a TOD or POD doesn't have say while the asset is under the primary person.
Right.
It's not until death that they actually can do anything.
So if you want to keep control over your stuff, that might be a better option for you rather than the joint bank account. Yes. What else is on here?
The ladybird deed was one that I thought was an interesting term. So it is very similar to a TOD, but for title for real estate. And so it is, I just thought
the ladybird.
The ladybird.
Who came up with that name?
I would imagine it's probably an antiquated term that we wouldn't
sure.
want to know how it came to be.
Yeah, we don't want to know about that.
But the current holder has all the rights of the property, can do with it what they please until their death, and then the rights go to the beneficiary.
So there you have it. We have some options. But again, a living trust is always the best way to ensure that your money is distributed in the safest way and the best way to avoid probate for your loved ones.
And in the specific way that you would like it to.
Yeah,
so that is, I think, the other
specific
thing about this is that if you have a bank account and you are the surviving person of a partnership, or of a marriage or a partnership, and you want it to go to your 3 children, that might be a little bit trickier if you're giving all of them access to the account, instead of having it set up in a will or a living trust, so that you say, okay, it's split evenly between 3 people versus, and I want to send some to charity. Like,
the more complicated your situation is, your estate, how big your family is, like these are all factors that play a big role. And if it's really simple, maybe it's just like you and your partner, I don't know, maybe this would be a great option for you, but it's all personal, isn't it?
Personal choices for your personal finance.
Oh, I like that. On that note, we're going to end on a high. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. Okay, next article we'll be talking about is more Americans faced retirement insecurity, and this is from the Wall Street Journal. Yeah.
Which is really sad. The most recent data is that 51% of Americans are at risk of not being able to maintain their current lifestyle in retirement.
Yeah, and a lot of this came from the pandemic, didn't it?
Yes. And pre-pandemic, it was at 49%. So in 2019, when the last time that this information was taken.
Yeah.
So it's only gone up 2 percentage points during the pandemic, and knowing all the upheaval we've had and all the changes and just the economic state has just changed so much in the last 2 years. The fact that it's only gone up by 2% feels nice, I guess.
It does feel nice, but hopefully it won't, as we see more of the fallout from what's happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see that number increase, and hopefully we all get back on our feet and feel confident in our retirement.
I think it's interesting. One of the things that stuck out to me in this article was that in 2007, only 40% of Americans were in this same bucket. So that has increased significantly.
It's slowly been increasing since... Yeah.
So either people are living outside of their current abilities, or they're not saving enough for retirement, or probably a little bit of both.
Yeah. Probably a little bit of both.
So, and there's some factors that have definitely increased the percentage points.
Yes. Longer life expectancy. That's one, because not only I mean, obviously, if you're living longer, you're going to need more money, but that typically also includes more medical issues that come up over time as we age. More and more do. It's just part of life.
Yeah.
And so, factoring that in as well. And then because of raising the age of when you can collect your full Social Security to 67, that's added some insecurity. And the long-term decline in interest rates reduce the amount of income retirees can earn on their savings. So all of these factors make complete sense why people are feeling a little bit more anxious and insecure about retirement.
Well, and I think it's also, I wonder, knowing that interest rates are going to go back up, how that might balance out in the next few years. So we'll have to watch this metric. And then one of the other things that they also talk about is the high cost of real estate. And so people who may have bought a house more recently, you're paying a lot more money to own a house, and a lot bigger percentage of your income typically to own a house than our parents' generation.
For sure.
I mean, right now, cost $100,000.
Yeah. I mean, even our neighbors who moved in 17 years ago, and what they paid on their house, they're in a very good position,
right?
But right now the housing market is
insane.
Yeah, it's insane. It's a scary place to be.
As we talk about quite frequently here on ROI TV.
Yes, and we had to bring it up because it's Tuesday and it's Mortgage Q&A with Tuesdays today, so we just had to sneak in real estate. Couldn't help ourselves.
Always.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be back, and I'll tell you about more than just Mortgage Q&A with AJ. There's some other shows airing as well, and I'm going to tell you about those when we get right back. Welcome back, everyone. I just wanted to remind you not to miss today's episodes of Cunningham Legal, Mortgage Q&A with AJ, Medicare School, and Elder Needs Law.
You can find those shows on ROI TV app, available on Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, or on your phone for iOS and Android systems. So check us out so that you can start your financial literacy today.
Yes, and look at us remembering these lists of things to share with you.
Thank you, Coffee.
Thank you, Coffee. We will see you tomorrow for another episode of Coffee with Chem and Hills.